I know it's our last shipment, but I have an opportunity for the captain.
Oh, and what could that be?
Big shipment from one of the council members leaving Saltmarsh.
And?
The council members are sending dues, treasure dues, to the capital.
And what do you suppose that means to somebody like me?
Listen, if you don't want it, I'm going to take it. I thought I'd give you the courtesy of, I respect you. I respect your boat.
Oh, do you?
I'll pull out the papers at this point and like shaking. I want to like be like shaking my hands and like trembling.
Intentionally?
Yes, intentionally.
Give me a performance.
So that will be a performance. That'll be a dirty 20.
Suppose it looks like this one does have the proper amount of respect. Bring it here. And he, speaking to his other goblin, the goblin in front of you takes the papers out of your hand, walks across the deck, and hands them up as the captain bends down to grab them as he's on the upper level. Oh, well, at least it seems you weren't lying. But if you could take it for yourself, I don't understand why you wouldn't just do that. Why not leave me out of it? We've only just met, haven't we?
We don't have a ship, sir.
Oh. So now you're asking favors.
No. I'll put my hand on Grix's shoulder. Listen, maybe we got off on the wrong boot. We may not have the most successful means, but we definitely would be dying to try. But if we pass something like this off along to you, doesn't mean we're interested in sharing with the spoils. Want to help is all.
You're willing to do volunteer work.
Aren't I really doing it right now anyways?
I assumed you were getting paid. But that's not my concern. So, explain to me. You're not being paid, and you're doing this hard labor.
Well, imagine what I could be getting paid if I can start to build a name for myself. That's better than this.
You're looking to join my crew.
When he asks that question, I will like frantically like nod my head.
Well, there's room. Why don't you two stick around? Stay on the ship tonight. However, there is some other business we need to take care of then, if you will be joining my crew. And I want to get this straight. And he kind of unsheaths his longsword. You and you, he points it at you, will be on my ship as of tonight. We sail away, and you're no longer with Sanballet. You're with me. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Well, then we have business to take care of. You see, there's a certain number that fits this ship. No more and no less. Would you go down a level and pick who do you think looks the weakest? Bring them up to me.
Each, sir?
We need 2. And I'll not be speaking with you anymore, you quivering weasel. In fact, the reason you're here is because it seems like you have access to documents that could be useful to me in the future. Otherwise, you would be my first choice, and I would hope it would be yours as well.
I'll just be frantically nodding my head.
Gods, you are a weasel. Now, head down. Pick out 2. In fact, you can go down 2 levels. Take your pick.
A few moments later.
Fine choices. Well, and he makes his way down the stairs. I guess we have a fine welcoming procedure. Come here, weasel boy. And he takes out his longsword and he like stands behind you, kind of crouches down. And he like, almost like when you're teaching somebody how to golf, he puts his longsword in your hands and he grips your hands around the sword. And from here, you can already see there's blood stains up and down the length of the blade. Oh, you too. And he kind of nods over to the dwarf and the goblin. There's just kind of like no idea what's going on. They just make their way over, like irritated. Okay, boys. I saw something a little strange off the side of the ship there. Take a good look. The first, to make out what it actually is, no bullshit. There's a fine reward, a big sack of gold. Keep an eye out. And he walks around behind them as they kind of scramble forward to the railing. And he lets you kind of hold onto his longsword, Grix. Stands behind them.
Oh, he didn't ask me to come over. He just.
Oh no, he did. He did.
Oh, sorry.
And he puts you behind the dwarf. And he kind of leans into you. Do you have a blade on you?
And from like behind my back, a dagger will come out.
Well, I suspect you know how to use it. Why don't you two welcome yourselves to the crew and clear out a spot for yourselves? And he very tightly squeezes your hands around the sword and kind of tilts it, pointing it to the back of the goblin, Grix. And then he lets go of your hands and he just keeps a hand on your shoulder. And that's a good spot to end the session.
Oh my god.